trust is crucial in war, whether it's between soldiers on the battlefield or generals in the war room. The betrayal of that trust can have catastrophic consequences, rippling beyond individual grievances to change the course of battles, wars, and even human history. Throughout thousands of years, decisions driven by self-interest, fear, or manipulation have led to some of the most notorious wartime betrayals, forever impacting the fates of nations and their people. Here are 5 of the most shocking betrayals in wartime history. 1. The attack on Mezzekir, 1940. In June 1940, France was on the verge of surrender to Nazi Germany, leaving Britain in a precarious situation. One major concern was the French Navy, one of the world's largest fleets potentially falling into German hands, which would have disastrous consequences for the Allies. The British government demanded that the French fleet either join them in their fight against the Nazis or be neutralized to prevent its use by Germany. Admiral François Darlan of the French Navy assured British officials that the fleet would never be handed over to the Germans and would be scuttled if necessary. Despite these assurances, British Prime Minister Winston Churchill wasn't willing to take any chances. On July 3, 1940, the British launched Operation Catapult, sending Vice Admiral James Somerville to the port of Mezzekir, where a significant part of the French fleet was stationed. Somerville was given 4 options: bring the ships to British ports, neutralize them, demilitarize them in the West Indies, or destroy them. When the French commanders refused to comply with these demands, Somerville opened fire with great reluctance. This marked a historic moment, as it was the first time since the Battle of Waterloo that Britain had attacked France. Within just 15 minutes, over 1,000 French sailors were dead, and several ships were severely damaged or sunk. The attack crippled the French fleet and shattered relations between Britain and France. In retaliation for this betrayal, French forces launched symbolic bombing raids on Gibraltar. While Churchill defended this drastic action as a grim necessity for national security, it remains one of the most controversial decisions of World War II, and serves as a stark reminder of how trust can be irrevocably broken in times of war. 2. The Battle of Hong Kong, 1941. In late 1941, as tensions with Japan escalated dramatically following Japan's aggressive expansion in Asia, Britain requested reinforcements from Canada to bolster the defenses of Hong Kong. Major General Guy Granville Simons suggested this move. However, higher-ranking officers, including Chief of the Canadian General Staff Harry Crerar, likely understood that war in the Pacific was imminent. Despite this knowledge, Crerar assured his superiors that there was no significant military risk involved. Unfortunately, the troops sent were poorly prepared for combat. Canada dispatched 2 battalions, the Winnipeg Grenadiers and the Royal Rifles of Canada, both lacking adequate training and equipment for such a critical engagement. On December 7, 1941, Japanese forces launched a surprise attack on Hong Kong. The inexperienced Canadian troops were quickly overwhelmed by superior Japanese forces and tactics during a brutal battle that resulted in hundreds being killed or wounded. The hospital where injured soldiers lay was stormed by Japanese troops, who bayoneted soldiers in their beds. Ultimately, 290 Canadians lost their lives during this conflict, while many others suffered severe injuries. This event raised serious questions about whether these troops should have been sent at all, and is viewed by many as a betrayal of trust towards those who believed their country would adequately protect them. 3. Benedict Arnold's treachery, 1780. Benedict Arnold is perhaps the most infamous traitor in American history. Initially celebrated as a hero during the American Revolutionary War for his strategic brilliance, most notably during the capture of Fort Ticonderoga, Arnold's fortunes changed when he felt overlooked for promotions and recognition within the Continental Army. His growing resentment culminated in secret negotiations with British officials. Arnold agreed to hand over West Point, a critical American fort, to British forces in exchange for money and a position within their army. His treachery was uncovered when British Major John Andre was captured with incriminating documents detailing Arnold's plans. Although Arnold managed to escape to British lines and served as a brigadier general for them thereafter, his name became synonymous with betrayal in American folklore. Some historians argue that Arnold's actions stemmed from feelings of betrayal by his own country after years of being undervalued and underappreciated. 4. Vidkun Quisling and the Nazi occupation of Norway, 1940. Vidkun Quisling's name has become synonymous with treachery due to his collaboration with Nazi Germany during World War II. A Norwegian politician with fascist sympathies, Quisling admired Hitler's regime and formed his own party modeled after it. When Germany invaded Norway in April 1940, Quisling seized this opportunity to gain power by collaborating with Nazi forces. He provided crucial military intelligence that facilitated Germany's swift occupation of Norway, and declared himself head of a new government after legitimate authorities fled from advancing German troops. However, his coup quickly failed due to a lack of popular support among Norwegians and disinterest from Nazi leadership regarding his governance style. Despite this setback, Hitler continued to back Quisling throughout much of World War II as he played an integral role in implementing Nazi policies within Norway. After Norway was liberated post-war, Quisling was arrested and tried for high treason before being executed by firing squad. His legacy remains one marked by betrayal. His name is now used globally as a term for those who collaborate with an enemy against their own country. 5. The Sack of Constantinople, 1204. The Fourth Crusade was initially called by Pope Innocent III with the noble intention of reclaiming Jerusalem from Muslim control. However, it resulted in one of history's greatest betrayals when Crusaders turned their sights on Constantinople instead, a Christian city they were supposed to protect. Motivated by greed and political intrigue rather than religious fervor, Crusaders allied with Venetian merchants attacked and sacked this Byzantine capital in 1204. The assault led to widespread looting and destruction. Churches were desecrated while civilians suffered horrific violence at the hands of these so-called liberators. This betrayal shocked Christendom because it demonstrated how far some would go for wealth and power, even against fellow Christians, ultimately weakening the Byzantine Empire beyond repair. The consequences were profound. Not only did it create lasting animosity between Eastern Orthodox Christians and Roman Catholics, but also left deep scars on Byzantine society that contributed to its eventual decline centuries later. Betrayals in war can have devastating and far-reaching consequences that often change history's course forever. Whether driven by fear, ambition, or personal grievances, those involved are remembered not only for their actions, but also for how they altered relationships between nations and peoples across generations. Thanks for watching. If you found these wartime betrayals as shocking as we did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more intriguing historical content. Let us know in the comments which betrayal